Beaumont was no fluke. The crowd is filling in, the energy is building, and this game has all the ingredients for a fast, high-scoring night of arena football. Kickoff is moments away, and we'll be sure to get there and stay here until that kickoff happens. But like I said, momentum is in the building. Beaumont Renegades do not want to have their third loss of the season, especially having another loss to the Oceanside Bombers. So revenge is first and foremost on their mind tonight as they're set in front of this home crowd, ready to cheer them on to victory. So just look for an exciting game. You know, both coaches are ready, and they've talked to their team earlier before the game, motivating them, saying, hey, we know what they did last game. But Coach Mayfield, Corey Mayfield, said, hey, let's put that last game aside. Let's put these last two games aside and focus on this game tonight. It's important that we get in the win column this early on in the season. We're coming off as champions, and we want to keep that momentum going. But so far this season, they've faced two losses that, you know, could have easily went their way. So Coach Mayfield trying to get his Renegade team, you know, pumped up and ready for this game as the Oceanside Bombers coming in, knowing what they did in that first game, trying to build off of that as this team is already 2-0 on the season, speaking of the Oceanside Bombers. Right now the teams are greeting each other. Next up will be the coin flip for tonight's game. Oceanside Bombers calling tails. It is tails. Bombers have decided to receive the football. Kickoff just moments away. And I think it's very important tonight for the Renegades to get off to a fast start. You want to put the ball in your go-to quarterback's hands. Carl Robinson, allowing him to make some special plays, not only with his arm, but his feet as well. He's one of those dual quarterbacks in this conference, in this league, that is very special to watch. As you see the fans right there, just ready to cheer their team on to victory. The popcorn's good. I had a couple bites before the game started, so I can give my kudos and my confirmation when it comes to the popcorn here at Doggett Ford Park. It's spectacular. 10 out of 10 for sure. And here comes the kickoff. Back to receive for the Bombers is number 4, Tyler Kennedy. Tyler Kennedy already with 93 yards this season on kickoff returns. Right there. Let's see who has the ball. Renegades say they have it. Let's see what the referee says. Referee says it will be Beaumont Renegades ball to start off this game. And that's exactly what you want to see from the Renegades early on. Right off the kickoff there, they were able to get a turnover and get the ball back. As we go to the replay here, the ball does go the amount of needed yards, and right there, Bombers not able to field it cleanly, and the Renegades field the ball and come up with it. So great start by the Renegades there. Right now we're trying to see if that is indeed the official call. Might be a little confusion on the field. I think that's Coach Coach Mayfield coming out on the field, making sure his guys are in position. Right now, Beaumont that isn't Carl Robinson, their normal starting quarterback. That is Andrew McBride starting off this game for the Beaumont Renegades. On the season, he's 7 for 13, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 49 total yards. So let's see if he can get going in this game. Right there you see he drops back, tries to get it to number 1, but overthrows him just a little bit where number 1 couldn't get the ball and get it cleanly. But let's see if he can wipe that away and get back strong here on this next play. McBride drops back. He gets it in the hands of Vincent Wilkerson to pick up a couple yards. And if you all are new to arena football, the player can field it cleanly on the sides there and use the wall to get down the field if necessary. But just because he's on the wall doesn't mean that he's stopped. Right now, 3rd down and 7. McBride, nice play there by number 1 of the Oceanside Bombers. Hold on, we do have a flag on the play. But that was David Haney on the defense. And he gets called for a hold, and it's an automatic 1st down for the Beaumont Renegades. Let's take another look here. It looks like he has him on the right shoulder there. He tries to hold him and pull his jersey a little bit. That is a defensive holding call, and he gets called for it, 10 yards automatically, and that is a 1st down for the Beaumont Renegades. McBride doing a nice job here of driving the offense down the field. You see David Haney get a nice running start. Let's see if he, just overthrows him. But give him, if he had about 3 more yards, he would have caught that ball. But that's an incomplete pass to number 11, incomplete pass to Zuri Davis. Just off the fingertips there. And as you can see, Zuri Davis got that nice running start on the side. I was listening to a fan earlier, and he mentioned the Deion Sanders days, and he went back to Deion Sanders. If you just imagine if you would have given a player like Deion Sanders that much running room and that like fast start and that jump before the ball even gets hyped. Like, just picture players like Deion Sanders or Tyreek Hill being able to get a running start, like just the dividends that would pay off for them in the NFL if that was the case and the rules were different in the NFL. Flag on the play there. It backs up the Renegades. Not too sure what the call is there, but it had to probably have been an early start or a false start there. McBride doing a good job so far. Backs up, tries to go the distance again, and wide open is Jeremy Neal for the touchdown. Beaumont Renegades on the scoreboard, 6-0. Great drop back pass there by McBride, finding a wide open Jeremy Neal for the score, and that's how you want to set the tone early in this game. Nice smooth throw. He's wide open. Nobody in his peripheral vision to slow him down or stop him. Touchdown, Jeremy Neal. Up, and the kick is no good. Beaumont Renegades on the scoreboard first, 6-0. Next to take the field will be the Oceanside Bombers. Let's see if they can respond in their first offensive possession of the game. Back again is Tyler Kennedy to receive the ball for the Bombers. And let's see if the Renegades go back to the play they did on that first possession of the game and try to commit a turnover here for the Oceanside Bombers. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this exact play here. If it worked for you once, why not try it again? But right now the pressure is on the Bombers, considering Renegades already scored. So right now, this may be an opportunity where they just kick it freely. Tyler Kennedy. Oh, that's a score? Let's see. The fans say it's a score. That is 2 points, ladies and gentlemen, for the Renegades, right through the uprights to have a 2-point conversion. One thing about arena football on kickoffs, if it does go through the field goal, you can get 2 points. A regular field goal after a touchdown gives you 1 point. But on kickoffs, if it goes through the uprights, that is 2 points. And it's much tougher in arena football than it would be in the NFL. You're looking at a You're looking at a 30-foot wide, 32 feet high field goal goalpost. So anything between 30 feet there, it's very narrow, but it can be done just like you saw there. Oh, touchdown Bombers! Right off the bat, Rudy Johnson comes in, finds a wide open teammate there. There was no defender in sight. So the Bombers come in and they respond right away. First play of their possession, and it's a score. Making it look too easy. The Renegades definitely don't want that to be an ongoing issue for them throughout the game. You want to have a defender in the face of a wide receiver, even if you're just 5 yards away from the opponent, but you definitely want somebody in the area. By that being the first play of their possession, that was way too easy. And you want to cut those type of plays down and those type of habits. You don't want to have that happen throughout the game. So let's see if the Renegades can respond here, and then when they get back on defense, tighten that defense up just a little bit. Renegades in their black and red uniforms.
Hey, take your chains off.
Kickoff is returned. Nice return there. Right there, Dontrell Morrison finding a little breathing room, able to take the ball to the third. Excuse me. Let's see where the ball was spotted there. It appears he was able to take it to the 18-yard line. Again, McBride back under center. I'm curious to see if we'll see Carl Robinson in this game today. But so far, so good for McBride coming in, stepping in, and showing off his arm early in this game. Pitch there. A pickup of 2 yards. Second down. McBride there. Tried to get it to Zuri Davis on the back shoulder, but not enough room there for him to turn around and field the ball. As you see right there, Zuri Davis just not on the same page there with McBride. But nonetheless, Renegades still up 8-7 in this game, facing a 3rd down and 8. McBride gets it to by Vincent Wilkerson, picking up the first down there. If the left side isn't working for you, go to the right side. Right there, drop back, gets it to Wilkerson, dragging the defender with him to get those extra yards. It's all heart and hustle there. First down and 10 for the Renegades. Marching down the field, trying to get another touchdown on the board. Almost by Jeremy Neal. He still caught it. It looked like he had dropped the ball, but he still caught it. Jeremy Neal having himself a game so far this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think the Oceanside Bombers thought he had dropped it as well. Look, fumbles the ball, bounces off the wall, catches it, and it is a touchdown. Great job there by Jeremy Neal, not giving up the play and just staying with it. That was a phenomenal play, phenomenal catch. Using the wall to your advantage. You see a little pushing and shoving going on. Tensions are high. You know, Renegades looking for their first win of the season. and they want to get it by any means necessary. So if it takes a little pushing and shoving to scrap their way towards a win, this game is huge and critical for the Beaumont Renegades, up 14-7 on the Oceanside Bombers. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Doggett Ford Park here in Beaumont, Texas. I'm Siobhan Herndon, where the Renegades are up by 2 touchdowns so far this game. So far, fast start, high octane offenses. Oceanside Bombers are about to have their second possession of the game right now. And all the way for the score is the Oceanside Bombers. That is a touchdown by Tyler Kennedy. This is the second possession for the Oceanside Bombers right there. As you can see, Tyler just finds the left side and runs it all the way for a touchdown. Kicker tries to get with them right there, but misses the block. That is the second possession for the Bombers and second touchdown of the game. And they are scoring within 5 seconds of their possession. The Renegades have not been able to stop them or even get a hand on them throughout this game thus far. That extra point ties up the game 14-14. If the Renegades want a shot at winning this game or stopping their 2-game skid, they're going to have to find some type of defense throughout this game to where you're at least causing them to have a second down. They have not even had a second down yet in this game. Very fast, very high octane, and this game is definitely back and forth. Waiting on the kickoff from the Bombers. Brett Reese with the kickoff there. Renegades splits the double team there. Finds a little bit of breathing room. That was Dontrell Morrison with the return. McBride leads its team back out on the field. So far, so good. He's had a consistent and steady game, no turnovers, being a real solid force for this team so far. McBride from McMurray University out of Abilene, Texas. I know a few things about Abilene, Texas, as a proud graduate of Abilene Christian University. McMurray right down the street there from my alma mater. Zuri Davis brings that one in to pick up a couple yards for the Renegades. Let's see what Coach Mayfield is cooking up for his offense here. Just needing 5 yards to get a first down. McBride drops back, and he goes deep. Just overthrows Jeremy Neal. When I say Jeremy Neal from Langston University, hasn't dropped many balls tonight. He's been a sure go-to player, just out of the arm reach there by Jeremy Neal, by McBride to Jeremy Neal. 3rd and 5, 14-14 all. McBride looks, getting backed up, getting pressured, still finds Zuri Davis, and that is a big gain for Zuri Davis. He has been on fire tonight, catching the ball and moving those chains. Great catch there by Zuri Davis. You see McBride getting a little pressure there by the Bombers, but still finds Zuri Davis. Zuri shakes a tackle and able to go the distance, 5 yards from a touchdown. Let's see what the Renegades do on this possession. Hands it off to the running back, unable to shake loose there. First running play of the game. If I'm McBride, I keep going to Zuri Davis or Jeremy on this drive. They have made some great plays so far in this game. If I'm McBride, I keep riding my arm and keep trusting my arm right now. Flag on the play. Looks like the defender. Okay. Referees wave the flag, so no flag on the play. They say he was inside the 5-yard line mark area there. So they pick up the flag, and it's 3rd and 4. McBride pitches it and just unable to get in the end zone with 6 defenders. Six defenders crowding the running back of the Renegades. As you can see, he bounces to the outside, unable to break that tackle, and it was just a gang tackle by the Bombers. Team effort took him down. Not one player, but the whole team. 4th and 2. Renegades going for it. Now they call a timeout to settle things down. Try to get a play in. And we will go to break. 14-all here in Beaumont, Texas. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Dog at Ford Park. As you can see, the score is tied 14-all. Renegades looking at a 4th and 2 right now, trying to pick up the first down, or better yet, punch it into the end zone. Called a timeout there to kind of get a play drawn up. Let's see what the Renegades do here. Do they keep it in the air, or do they go to the ground to try to get their 3rd touchdown of the game? McBride gives the play to his teammates, as you can see there. Drops back there, and touchdown, Renegades! Their 3rd touchdown of the game. You see McBride, he looks left and sees a crossing player there and gets it right in his hands for the touchdown. Right there, good camera work there by our team here. And he reels it in for a touchdown. (20 to 14), Beaumont Renegades. Two-point conversion here. And he finds a man there saying, "Too small, you cannot hold me." Jalen Schleicher. Flag on the play. Right there, McBride finds Jalen Schleicher for the conversion. Flag is after the play, so the 2-point conversion will stand. There was a little jawing and pushing around after that 2-point conversion. More importantly, Beaumont increases their lead by 8 over the Oceanside Bombers. Let's see if the Renegades, after this kickoff, before they even go, the Oceanside Bombers go into another possession. Let's see if they can stop this kickoff. We saw the Bombers be able to take it the distance on their opening opening kickoff. So let's see if the Renegades can get a stop. Get a good 3 and out here. Did they onside it again? Let's see if the Renegades have it. This worked well for them in that first possession of the game. Renegades touched it before it went the full length necessary. Oceanside will but they'll get the ball back in good field position. Very good field position. So the thing about those onside kicks, you have to make sure what you practice, you bring it into the games. It worked well in their favor on that first opening kickoff. They tried to go back to it just now, but a Renegades player touched the football. The referee saw it, and it's Oceanside Bombers football. Johnson, he drops back, unable to get the ball. And this is the Bombers' first time seeing a second down as the clock ticks away early here in this first quarter. This is their first second down. Johnson there looks. His teammate was not expecting that ball. Jalen Tucker there not expecting to get that ball. Cody Johnson calls him in motion. Overthrows 27. That's called incomplete. And their first third down of the game. Oceanside's quarterback Rudy Johnson has been impressive this season. He's been efficient. He's been strong. Johnson went 19 of 36 for 212 yards and 4 touchdowns. The first time these teams went up head-to-head against each other. And that is the end of the first quarter with Beaumont Renegades leading 22-14. We'll be back for the second quarter right after this break. Back here in Beaumont, Texas, Oceanside. Bombers driving the field here thanks to an onside kick that bounced in their favor. 22-14, Renegades is up. Rudy Johnson finds by Jalen Tucker. First down. Right there you see Tucker in position. Right there, smothering defense right there for the player. You can see for the Renegades, Cameron Pruitt right there in position. Nice defensive stop there by the Renegades. Second and goal coming up for Rudy Johnson and his Oceanside Bombers. See right there, Rudy Johnson calls a draw play, going right up the middle, but Renegades with that stifling defense gets the stop. Rudy Johnson is one of those players who's very solid in his offensive game. Little trickery Rue there. Johnson finds Jalen Tucker. Jalen Tucker throws it to his teammate there. You see Johnson there, gets it to Tucker. Tucker finds a wide open teammate in the end zone for a touchdown. Sometimes you got to fool them and do a little trickery. TJ Brooks with the touchdown there, giving his team 6 points to kind of close that gap with the Renegades. And now the score is 21-22. Again, the Renegades are looking for their first win of the season. Head coach Corey Mayfield has been with this team. Last season, they won the championship, the NAL championship against Omaha Beef, beating them in 2025. This year, they moved to a new division and a new league, and so they're trying to bring that momentum here to this season, but they've met there's some obstacles early in this season. So right now they're locked in and hopefully trying to pull this win out as they continue to play well throughout this game thus far. Ownership includes Sam Gordon, Rodney Robichow, Dietrich Weiss Jr., Darren Griffin. Mayfield was hired back on February 24th, 2025. Flag on the play, and that's going to come back indeed. Right there you see the kickoff return. They tackle him. They get him down, but he doesn't feel as though his knee touched the ground, so he continues to run. But the referee says, no, that has to come back. This is a franchise that's built on resilience. They're champions on the field, scrappers off of it. They're not just winning games. They're rebuilding Beaumont's indoor football identity. And so you look around this stadium and you see the fans cheering them on and filing into this game. It's good to have the hometown support. You know, when you're a brand new franchise and a brand new team, you know, any crowd support, any home support is what you need to keep going. Great catch there by Zuri Davis, who already has a touchdown in this game. He's able to pick that up for some yards and get the first down. So Zuri Davis has been a sure-handed wide receiver throughout this game, just playing one heck of a game so far, and being that steady presence on offense that a player like McBride needs right now as he continues to go through the air. McBride's not the type of quarterback that's going to beat you with his feet, but he'll definitely beat you through the air, and he's definitely showing his arm strength throughout this game. Flag on the play. McBride thought he had a free play there, unable to get it to Neal. Let's see what the flag is. That's Coach Cree. Illegal formation called by the Renegades. Backing them up some yards. You saw head coach Cree Morris come out there and talk to the referees, trying to get some pressure and get some calls in his favor. He's one of the most respected coaches throughout Southern California. He's been able to bring that pedigree. Let's see if the player is okay. He goes off the wall there, flips over the wall, trying to will in that catch. Right now we have a player injured for the Oceanside Bombers, trying to attempt that catch. When you have that speed and that momentum going forward and the wall is right there, it's there for protection, but if you try to avoid it, it can be dangerous. We'll go to break right after this. We are back in Beaumont. It appears the player who got injured there is walking around and he is okay. That is David Haney for the Oceanside Bombers, one of their go-to receivers from Mid-American Nazarene. He looks like he's having his lower back checked out. After that flip, he landed hard on his back, so it's good to see that he's okay and walking around. Hopefully he'll be able to return to this game. McBride unable to connect there with Jeremy Neal. Pass interference is called on the play. And we'll pick up a couple yards. McBride gets the call. Let's see which one of his weapons he'll go to. You have Jeremy Neal on the top of your screen. You have Zuri Davis at the bottom of your screen. It's one of those things, pick your poison, because both of them are good. He drops back. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. Bombers almost came up with it, but thanks to the tip, the Bombers are unable to get it, and it gives another possession there. You can see right there McBride trying to get it over the Bombers player, their number 17. Right there in the middle, clogging up the lane was Lonnie Bickham for the Bombers. Fortunately, Bombers weren't able to come down with it, so it gives another opportunity for the Renegades to try to get more points on the board. McBride drops back, points in a direction that he wants his receivers to go, and just overthrows Jeremy Neal. Incomplete pass. Coach Mayfield talking to his star quarterback here. Third and 10 for the Beaumont Renegades. Up 22-21. We're midway through this second quarter. McBride drops back, delivers right there to Zuri Davis to pick up the first down. First down, Beaumont Renegades. Jeremy Neal and Zuri Davis have been on fire this evening. Both of them splitting the wealth from McBride. And it's good to see both of them just having a solid game thus far this evening. Zuri Davis in motion, goes right up the middle, and touchdown, Zuri Davis for his second touchdown of the game. He has been on fire, splitting the defenders, being able to pick his way through the defense and getting catches, and hats off to McBride being able to find his receivers and utilizing Zuri Davis there in motion for the touchdown. Renegades choosing to go for 2 points here. Jeremy Neal comes out of the backfield. Bombers, good defensive stance there to keep the Renegades from picking up 2 points. Renegades still finding ways to continue to put points on the board by any means necessary. They're just continuing to strike. Every time the Bombers come out and try to punch them in the gut, here comes the Renegades responding each and every time. This is back and forth action, ladies and gentlemen, from the start of the game till now. This is what arena football is all about. Right there you see McBride steps back, unable to connect there with his teammate. An unfortunate letdown there, not being able to pick up the 2 points. But right now, all you need is a defensive stance so you can get the ball back. So let's see if we can get the defense to step up. The offense has done a great job controlling this game and putting points on the board, but they're gonna need their defense to help them out a little bit and stop this high-octane Bombers offense. Timeout by Coach Cree Morris there. You saw him talking to the referee, wanting to get that timeout called before the kickoff. Back, set to kick this one off. But to receive, you have Tyler Kennedy from Southern Mississippi in the end zone, waiting for the kickoff. He's 5'9", 175-pound wide receiver. He joined the Oceanside Bombers in their inaugural season. He's very dynamic, explosive, and quick. He attended Riverside City College before going on to Delta State and then to Southern Mississippi. He's had Special Teams Player of the Week several times throughout his tenure with the Bombers from Delta State, from 178 yards to a 96-yard touchdown to a 132-yard 3-touchdown game against San Bernardino Valley. He's just one of those key players for Oceanside. He doesn't pick up many yards, only 6 yards there. Great defensive stance there by the Renegades, because Tyler is one of those explosive players that once he breaks a tackle, he can really get loose. Not able there to shake the two defenders from the Renegades. So great defense, team defense there by the Renegades. Ball completed to number 27. Gain of 9 yards. Right there you see just a nice drop back pass. Gets it cleanly to his teammates. And this is the defense I've been talking about and I've been wanting to see from the Renegades, just being strong and holding their stance on the defensive side. And you want to see more of this. Those first couple possessions, you know, the Bombers were able to get loose and not showing any defensive presence. Now the Renegades are starting to string a couple of defensive possessions together where they can kind of pull together and play team defense and help out their offense a little bit. Right up the middle there with a catch is Jalen Tucker, picking up the first down and a chunk of yards for the Bombers. What's nice about Jalen, right there, you see the drop back Tucker cleanly right down the middle, met by 3 defenders. Speaking of the Tuckers, one of the best parts of Jalen Tucker's journey with the Bombers is that he isn't doing it alone. He's also playing alongside his brother Javon Tucker for the same team. Jalen wearing number 3, Javon wearing number 23. That brotherly love is shared on the field and off. You know, it's rare that you can get 2 brothers playing on the same team. And so for the Tucker brothers to be able to play for the Oceanside Bombers and just be able to continue that family love and that family dynamic, it shows definitely here on the Oceanside Bombers team. That again, that's number 3 and number 23, Javon and Jalen Tucker. I think about the NFL draft that was this weekend, and you had A.J. Terrell, brother from the Atlanta Falcons. He was able to see his younger brother, Avion Terrell, get drafted by the Falcons, and both are now playing for the Falcons. It's just a special moment when you can see your brother alongside of you, suiting up that same uniform with you. Johnson right there with the quarterback keeper up the middle, calls his own number and scores the touchdown for the Bombers. That's his first running touchdown of the game. But speaking of dual quarterbacks, you see what, you know, Johnson is able to do with his feet there. That's his first running play of the game. We know what he can do with his arms, but it's special to have a dual threat quarterback on your team who can throw it in the air and also put it on the ground and score both ways. Johnson there with the touchdown. Extra point by the Bombers is good, and we are all tied up here from Beaumont, Texas, 28 all. We will be right back after this break. Back here at Doggett Ford Park, where the game is all tied up between the Beaumont Renegades and the Oceanside Bombers. I am Siobhan Herndon here on a great Sunday night here in Beaumont, Texas. It is 28 all as the Renegades are set to receive. Zuri Davis takes it out. Oh, excuse me. That is number 14. Morrison, the return man there. He brings it out for a couple yards. The ball is placed on the 16-yard line. McBride back out on the field under center. Has been doing a great job so far this game. Just been a steady presence there. You know, being the vocal leader, being able to make some explosive plays this evening with his arm. This has been a tight game, back and forth, back and forth. McBride drops back. That ball is complete to Jeremy Neal. He picks up 9 yards on the play. Way to bring that ball in with Neal. McBride seeing just a little bit of an opening. He drops back, finds Neal right there at the line of scrimmage, but had to come back to retrieve the ball a little bit. Might have cost him a yard or so, but look for the Renegades to get it back on the next play. McBride goes through the air and just overthrows Jeremy Neal on the play. Jeremy Neal is one of those players. Well, you'll see him play a little bit of DB as well as wide receiver. One of those things with arena football, a lot of players play two ways, and Neal is no exception there. He's able to go both ways sometimes. Coach tries to give him a break, but for the most part, he's one of those steady players that rarely takes a play off, whether it be defense or offense. Neal again from Langston University, the speedster at 5'10", 182 pounds. Flag on the play. Let's see what the call is. You see McBride trying to eavesdrop some. There was a false start on the Renegades. Backs him up a couple yards. The fans in the stadium not liking that. Third and 1 on the play. Renegades just needing to get it across the field. You see McBride point in the direction of Jalen Schleicher. Not able to bring that in. Schleicher, you see McBride going up saying, hey, just keep running. I'm going to drop it in there. I'm going to drop it in the basket for you, but just overthrows him. Not able to connect there. Now it's 3rd and 6. Renegades looking. Flag called on the Renegades. Holding 10 yards is the penalty. That backs them up now to the 9-yard line. You don't want to keep digging yourself a hole. You want to try to keep this drive alive. Now it's 3rd and 16. And right now with the clock creeping under 2 minutes left in this half, you don't want to give the Bombers the ball and an opportunity to take the lead going into halftime. So it's important for the Renegades to keep this drive alive and hopefully march this ball down the field. McBride goes deep in the air and finds a wide, nope, not a wide open, but he finds his target, Jeremy Neal, number 1. Bails McBride out there with a defender on him and goes the distance of the field. McBride with finding Neal with one defender on him. But right there, just enough room for him to bring down that catch and put his team in scoring position. Right now, 1st and goal, only needing a yard. McBride surveys the field, surveys the defense, calls a timeout there. Right now, timeout 28 all. Renegades trying to capitalize off of that huge catch by Jeremy Neal. Only needing 1 yard to punch this ball in the end zone and get a score with what might look like their last possession of this half. So they are trying to capitalize off this possession to 1st down. So they'll have 3-4 opportunities to try to score here. I think this could be huge momentum for them if they can get a score here going into halftime and having that lead. This season, they have not been able to defeat the Bombers. They're coming off 2 losses. This team is looking to pick up their first win of the season. So right now, this could be a huge momentum shift for the Renegades. Let's see what Coach Mayfield has dialed up here. McBride keeps the ball or hands it off. Touchdown, Renegades. That is a touchdown indeed by I believe that is a touchdown indeed. Great score there before the half. Let's see if they can pick up this 2-point conversion. McBride takes it left for the score, and 2 points added to the score. As you can see, everybody coming in, fighting, pushing and shoving. The Renegades have the back of their quarterback, McBride, and they're not going to let their quarterback be pushed around. That's how you stand in the middle for your quarterback, making sure you have his back. And that's indeed what the Renegades did right there. High tensions for this evening's football game. Renegades standing their ground, letting the Bombers know we are not here to be pushed around. We know what the outcome was in that first game, but we are here standing on business. And as you can see, McBride takes it there in the end zone, and late hit there, hard hit there by number 17 of the Bombers coming in. That was Lonnie Bickham laying the wood there on McBride. Let's see what the referees call here. Holding on the Renegades. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Renegades. Unsportsmanlike conduct again on the Renegades. All 3 flags go in the direction of the Renegades. You can see right there, McBride. They call a hold on their offensive lineman. I'm not sure if that touchdown will stand with that holding call being called, but 2 unsportsmanlike conduct calls after the play. And the fans are not liking either one of the 3 flags. No unsportsmanlike conduct called on number 17, Lonnie Bickham, at all after he clearly hits McBride after McBride scores that touchdown. Unfortunately, sometimes the penalties get called on what the referees see, and if the referees don't see one, and if you're reacting to being penalized or being hit, unfortunately, sometimes it always goes to the person who reacts. And that's what probably the referees are explaining to Coach Mayfield right now is, hey, we saw what we saw, and this is how we are ruling on the call. So 3 flags there. Looks like the touchdown will stand. Renegades still trying to get clarity. As you can see, the Renegades are talking to linebacker Lonnie Bickham, thinking, hey, we don't like what you tried to do there to our quarterback. A lot of jawing, a lot of frustration. It probably only intensifies because the Bombers didn't get flagged for anything on that play. McBride bringing his team out there saying, hey guys, let's keep our cool. We're in a good position here. We've been playing a great game. I appreciate y'all for having my back, but let's not get caught up in the jawing and the frustrations. Let's keep our cool and keep this thing intact. Right now, the Renegades going for 2 right here, trying to increase their lead after that touchdown. We have 42 seconds left to go in this first half. It's been a great game, a fast game so far. McBride drops back and touchdown! He hangs on to it. That is a touchdown indeed for 2 points for the Renegades. McBride, way to find his teammate there. You see he drops back, looks. When it looked like the ball bounced off the Renegades' knee, he still stayed within the play to catch it for the touchdown. Good offensive play there by the Renegades, not letting those penalties affect him. Right after this break, we'll be back with more action here at Doggett Ford Park. Beaumont, Texas, where the Renegades didn't let 3 penalties stop them from scoring a 2-point conversion, where they lead now 36-28 with just a minute left to go in this half. But the Oceanside Bombers are looking to score. If we know anything about this team, it only takes them 5 seconds to score a touchdown. They've already had 2 touchdowns with under 5 or 6 seconds here in this game, so a minute is a plethora of time for them to score the football. Let's see if the Renegades could have a great defensive stand and not allow them to get more points on the scoreboard before the half ends.
Kickoff in the back wall. We spotted at the 5-yard line. We run, of course, the 10-yard unsportsmanlike. First and 10, Oceanside from 15.
Okay, so with the ball hitting the back wall, that spots the ball at the 5-yard line. And then there was a penalty called on the Renegades to add another 10 yards to the play. So now the ball is spotted at the 15-yard line for the Oceanside Bombers. Let's see what the Bombers dial up here. Johnson drops back, tries to use his legs, but right there the Renegades were in great position to stop him. Johnson coming up, limping a little bit on the play, took a hard hit. So let's see if he's able to finish off this drive. He goes back into, you see right there, he drops back, then he tries to take it himself and hit very hard there, met at the line of scrimmage by 2 Renegades defenders. He's gonna feel that when he goes in the locker room here at halftime. Johnson drops back, tries to use his legs more, able to find a wide open Bombers player by TJ Brooks. With 2 seconds left on the clock. Right there you see TJ Brooks just runs into his own teammate there, Jalen Tucker, on the play. If he's able to shake loose Jalen Tucker along with the 2 Renegades players, he's in for a touchdown. They added a second back on the clock, so it's 3 seconds on the clock right now. And let's see if the Renegades can get a stop heading into halftime. The crowd is up. The chants are loud, and you can hear the fans cheering and beating, trying to help their Renegades with all the momentum to get this stop, because they know how huge this stop could be for confidence. Johnson drops back, unable to connect with a teammate, and that will do it for the second quarter and for the first half. Oceanside Bombers come up empty right there. Johnson not able to connect with his teammate there, and great defensive stance by the Renegades, and that's what you want to see going into halftime. This game has been back and forth, ladies and gentlemen, from the tip here in Beaumont. We will be back with more stats, more action after this break. It's halftime here in Beaumont, Texas, where the Renegades are up 36 over the Oceanside Bombers with 28 points. Let's look at the upcoming schedules. We'll start off with your hometown Renegades, and the road ahead is no cakewalk at all. After this one, they'll see Washington twice in a tough home and away stretch with a trip to Kentucky squeezed right there in between those three games. Then comes a marquee matchup against Albany, one of the league's most physical teams, before returning home for the rematch against Oceanside. On the other side, you'll see the Bombers have a challenging stretch indeed coming up. Every bit of this will shape who they become as this season unfolds. They play Minnesota at home before heading on the road to face a tough Nashville squad. Then it's back home for a matchup with Kentucky, followed by a long trip east to take on Albany in one of the league's most toughest environments. So we have games start from here all the way to July, mid-July on both sides, but each team having a tough stretch as we get into the heart and the meat of both of the schedules. So at the end of the day, it's who can win these games and put their road tests up for grabs, who can win on the road as well as home. So we'll see what both sides continue to do throughout this season. And right now we'll go to break. As coming back up, we'll have the second half of the Renegades versus the Oceanside Bombers.
You want soft?
Over the boards he goes.
Wrong building.
And it's a touchdown.
This is Arena Football 1. Walls, speed, impact. This game doesn't slow down. It closes in. 8 men. Nowhere to run. Hockey speed, football violence. Don't blink, because in here, the ball never dies. Watch Arena Football 1 live all weekend long. The AF1.com.
Over the boards he goes.
The moment it happens.
Touchdown, Oregon Lightning.
The hits, the highlights, the news that shakes the league. It's already here. This isn't yesterday's story. This is right now. The AF1.com is your inside line to everything Arena Football 1. The AF1.com. Don't hear about it later.
You feel that? You feel that? This the AF1. You feel that? What? Run for the city. Run. Rep your colors. Side by side. When the lights come on, we go high. AF1. The ball never dies.
You think the play's over? It's not. Off the net, right back at you.
And the kick is no good. It's off the net, but it is very good. Oh, picked up and taken in. Touchdown, Antoine Grant. Unreal.
I'm speechless right now. I'm speechless right now.
Yeah.
This is Arena Football 1. Don't blink. This game doesn't slow down. Because in here, the ball never dies.
Back here at Doghead Ford Park, where the Beaumont Renegades take an 8-point lead here into this second half, and it all started with a statement right off the gate when Beaumont recovered that onside kick, rolling the dice there to get that momentum going, and they were able to capitalize on that possession by scoring first in this game. Right now they get the ball back, and here they are with the return, unable to break loose. Great play there to try to get some yards. But like I mentioned, it was right there. You can see the Renegades player taking it up that left sideline and unable to just break loose of the Bombers defender. And they bring it back to the 15-yard line. That's where they'll spot the ball. But like I mentioned, it was the Renegades who struck first in this game, but the Bombers refused to go away. They have answered every punch, like I mentioned, keeping this game within one possession. They're always in striking distance. They're always one play away or one stop away from taking over this game. Right there, McBride drops back, tries to find Neal there and get him the ball, just overthrows his teammate there. But you can see what the mentality is and the focus is for this game is for McBride to continue relying on his arm and to continue finding ways to get Neal as well as Davis the ball so they can keep this pressure and keep their foot on the gas here in this second half. They had a great first half. Now it's all about building on that momentum that you had that first half and trying to capitalize here in the second half. McBride takes it to the right there, picking up some yards. Looks to be a flag on the play. He bounces to the right side there. Looks like they'll be backed up there on that penalty, which is unfortunate because that was a great run there by McBride to give his team some extra yards, but the flag erases that play. And now the Renegades are facing second down and 17. McBride drops back, double clutches, tries to get the ball to Zuri Davis. Incomplete pass. You see McBride double clutch there. He sees Zuri Davis, and right there, the defender able to tip that ball away from Zuri Davis. So great defensive play by Kyron Beecham of the Oceanside Bombers, making sure Davis doesn't get that ball. Beecham from the University of Idaho. He's a native of Oceanside, California, so Cali born and raised. As you see their flag on the play. Looks to appear that they got offsides with the Bombers. Looks like the defensive lineman there. Yeah, offsides indeed. 95 jumping offsides to give the Renegades a few more yards. Robert Robinson, the D lineman, got caught there. Watching the paint drip before it dries. McBride drops back, scrambles right, looks down the field, and coming back for the ball is number 8. And that is Wilkerson for another catch of this game, keeping this drive alive. Looks like he's coming up hobbling on that ankle. But Vincent Wilkerson in the clutch there, helping his quarterback McBride out to get more yardage on the play. Quarterback keeper for McBride. He picks up the first down, but let's see what the flag is before it is a first down. Word is it is a first down indeed. Wipe away the flag on the play. McBride calls his numbers, his own number, keeps it behind his O-line and gets that first down. That's just hard grit and hustle to pick up and fight for those yards to help your team and get those first down. We don't mention McBride's legs enough because he's more of a pocket passer, so to speak. As you can see there, finds him. His teammate there for the great catch on the play. That's Jalen Schleischer with a great catch. And we don't talk about McBride's legs enough because he's not that dual quarterback that his teammate is. But when he has to go down the middle with his legs, as you see right there, Jalen Schleischer over the defender's head, and he says, give me that ball. That is mine. Just goes up and gets it and puts his mind to it, and he went for it. First down and 9. McBride drops back, gets hit on the arm there on the pass. Looks like one of the Oceanside defenders hit his arm and forces an incomplete pass. McBride gathers his troops as they try to give themselves a 2-possession lead here. You don't want to have a tight game where you're trading possession for possession. You definitely want to create some breathing room. Here he goes and passes again to Jalen Schleischer. Again, capitalizing on the previous play where he had a remarkable catch. Now he's able to get it for the score, helping his team there. McBride knows he's going to Schleischer the whole way, and Jalen just goes up, high points the ball, and brings it down for the touchdown. And now you have the Renegades leading 42-28. That kick is no good. We will go to a break as the Renegades lead 42-28. We'll be back right after this. back here in Beaumont, Texas at Doggett Ford Park. I'm Siobhan Herndon, bringing you the coverage of tonight's matchup between Beaumont Renegades, who are leading right now 42 over the Oceanside Bombers with 28 points. The Renegades have just been spreading the wealth. McBride has been playing an impressive game thus far, linking up with Jalen Schleicher for a touchdown, Jeremy Neal for a touchdown, Zuri Davis, and also Vincent Wilkerson also getting in on the action. He's been able to just find weapons all throughout this game, and they have been capitalizing and making sure that they keep their quarterback looking good throughout this game by, reeling in his passes and also scoring the ball. Right there, Oceanside Bombers returns the kickoff there. We've been calling Tyler Kennedy's name all night long. As you see right there, he gets it and tries to break loose, stutter steps, tries to sidestep there, but gets met by a Renegades defender and is taken down. So far, they've been able to keep him quiet for most of this game. We saw what he was able to do in that first quarter. Tyler Kennedy, a huge weapon when it comes to kickoff returns. But the Renegades, hats off to the Renegades, kickoff coverage, being able to just find those gaps and plug in those gaps and slow him down. Johnson delivers a bullet there to Jalen Tucker, who moves the chains for a first down. Again, we mentioned Jalen and his brother Jovan, number 23 on the defensive side. You can see Jalen there grabbing the ball, knowing where those first down markers are, and making sure he gets to those lines for another opportunity for 1st and 10 there. Catch there on the outside. Johnson continues to find his wide receivers. Complete catch there. We know in arena football, it may be a 2-possession score, but as fast as these Bombers are able to put points on the boards, no lead is safe at all. Just overthrows his teammate there. The Bombers come in this game averaging 525 yards a game, 218 receiving yards. We haven't seen that ground game much, but they average only 38 rushing yards per game. So if the Bombers are going to beat you, it's through the air where they find their most success. Right there, Johnson. No way, Jose. Renegades coming in with a big hit. You have got to love the defensive hit there. As you can see, Johnson thought he had a wide open teammate, but no sirree. Renegades with a team effort. Trey Taylor there, number 5, laying the wood along with his partner in crime, number 66, ganging up on the Bombers there to make sure they do not get away with the catch. Johnson drops back, and he threads the needle there to find a wide open right there. You see Johnson finding Tucker there in the end zone. The kick is good. And it puts another point on the board for the Bombers. We're score now is 42-35. Let's see if the Renegades can continue to put the pedal on the gas, and McBride continues to rely on his arm to find the open man. Great job so far by the Renegades. You know, Oceanside Bombers set to kick this one off. Again, if you were unable to make this game, we appreciate you watching in or tuning in for your mobile device, wherever you may be at the moment, to catch this phenomenal Beaumont Renegades team in action. Your defending champions indeed. Their next home game will be May 9th against the Washington Wolfpack. That game is set to kick off at 3 o'clock. So if you missed this one in person, you have another opportunity coming up May 9th to watch this phenomenal team, this fast team, this physical team, this electrifying team play. You have to come out to a game sometime this season if you're able to support these Renegades in person. Right now, McBride has definitely been the steady force and the steady arm for the Renegades. The quarterback again out of McMurray. Came into this game with only 49 yards, but he has definitely surpassed that number. He surpassed that number within the first quarter of this game. So even though he had only 2 games under his belt where he didn't have much playing time or much action, he has definitely come out in this game making a name for himself, just putting the team on his back and showing what he can do when Coach Mayfield calls his number and gives him the ball to lead this team. McBride taking enough amount of time here to make sure he calls the right play. It appears that everybody's on one accord. The play is in. Let's see what McBride does on this play. Player in motion. McBride drops back and finds him wide open. 14 with the catch. Morrison again finding the seam, finding a hole within the defense. Catches clean, and he takes it some yards for the catch. He's had himself a great game along with Davis and the other players that we've mentioned. Morrison has a couple catches on the evening as well. So it's just been a plethora of wide receivers putting in work this evening for the hometown Beaumont Renegades. Beaumont calls a timeout. Want to make sure everyone is on the same page here. as they continue to score each and every possession. That's the kind of consistency you want to see. Each and every time you get the ball, you want to score, whether it's a field goal or whether it's a touchdown. You want to continue to put points on the board throughout this game. Beaumont coming into this game averaging 308 yards in their first two outings, and they can add to that tonight as well. And coming in, they only had 98 receiving yards for an average, but they've definitely surpassed that tonight as well, with just a group of the wide receivers just having a collective effort on this evening thus far, and we're still just in the third quarter. And everybody has been able to touch the ball, so to speak. McBride with the pitch back. He gets it back on the flea flicker, and McBride with the touchdown. Yes, indeed. The Renegades score again. We saw the Bombers have a little trickery in that first half. As you can see, McBride gets the ball back on a little flea flicker pitch out, and then he catches in the end zone for a touchdown. It's always good to see the quarterback be able to get a little bit juicy, I should say, when it comes to scoring the football. He gets a touchdown of his own, and that's how you want to reward your quarterback for doing a great job thus far throughout this game. Anytime a quarterback can get a catch and a score, you just love to see it. You love to see everybody contributing to this. So far, so good. Morrison right there with the 2-point conversion. Renegades, everything is clicking for them at this moment. 50 right now on the scoreboard. You see McBride find Morrison for the 2-point conversion. Just another way to put points on the board. Nobody in sight there for Morrison. And you gotta love the way the Renegades are playing. Everybody is clicking on all cylinders. Let's see if the defense can continue to hold their own and do just enough to help out their offense. Kickoff set for the Renegades. Oceanside Bombers set to receive. Tyler Kennedy is back. Let's see what the Renegades defense can do. Kickoff goes the distance. Tyler Kennedy takes it out of the end zone, shakes and bakes, drives, and he's still on his feet. Can he go the distance? Yes, indeed. Tyler Kennedy with the touchdown. Tyler Kennedy goes end zone to end zone on the kickoff return to give his team 6 points. Right there, feels it clean, does a little saucing there to break some defenders, and takes it the distance, then cuts back, and then cuts again right through the middle. He goes for the touchdown and the score. Like I mentioned before, within a blink of an eye, these Bombers can score really quick and fast, and that's their third or fourth position, just being able to score the ball with just 5 seconds into the clock. Kick field goal is good, making it 42 for the Bombers, and still Beaumont Renegades sitting at 50. As Renegades get back, it might be a thought process within Coach Mayfield to how do we kind of not so much play safe here, because you still want to keep that foot on the gas. You don't want to start thinking about, oh, well, how do we kill the clock, or how do we do some more running plays to get this clock running down. You can't think like that because you have a whole nother quarter to play. But if you can keep on scoring, that may be your best bet for a game like this with this high-octane offense with the Bombers, because whether it's the defense or whether it's your kickoff coverage, somebody is going to have to step up as this game continues to be tight down the stretch. Renegades, Morrison takes it. He tries to separate himself but gets caught there in a double team by the Bombers. As you can see right there, Morrison catching it off the goal post. Tried to go left, cuts it back up the middle. Not able to get more yards, but looks like he gets a favorable spot, and the refs are spotting it at the 12-yard line. McBride has to continue leaning on his arm, and the wide receivers need to continue to help him out and make big plays. Flag on the play. No free play. Refs blowing their whistle. Make sure the play is dead before another play can get off. False start called on the Renegades. Backing them up some more yards. Those wide receivers know where that first down mark is. So let's see if they can move the chains on this play. Not able to thread the needle there to Zuri Davis. Great defensive play by Lonnie Bickham III for the Bombers, right there with his hand to make sure Davis doesn't catch that ball. Tracking down Davis every step of that play. Right now, 2nd and 15 with under a minute left to go in this third quarter. McBride drops back. He was looking for Neal on the play. There is a flag. Pass interference called on the Bombers. And Neal, that's Zuri Davis there, but I believe it was Neal who was down the field and got the pass interference call to help to go in his favor. That pass interference was called on Lonnie Bickham. Let's see what McBride can do here with 17 seconds in this third quarter. McBride finds Zuri Davis. Zuri Davis down at the 10-yard line to move those chains and put his team in scoring position as this quarter ends with Beaumont Renegades leading 50-42. As you can see there, McBride finds Zuri. He shakes one tackler and puts his team in scoring position as he's down at the 10-yard line. Please stay with us as the Renegades are marching and looking to score to end this third quarter. and start the fourth. We'll be back right after this. Dog at Ford's Park. McBride looking for Neal. Flag on the play. Let's see what the referees call here to start this fourth quarter. Pass interference called on the Bombers. It will be indeed a first down. As you can see right there, McBride looks for Neal, and the Oceanside Bombers defender, their number 2, just tugs a little bit. That Simeon Burns for the Oceanside Bombers gets called for the pass interference. Simeon Burns with 1 interception already on the young season. One of their prime catchers as well as defenders. But just too much action there, and he gets called for the pass interference. McBride trying to get it into the end zone, but it's stopped. The Oceanside Bombers all over that play. We mentioned before, McBride not known for his legs, but he's been able to use them effectively in this game, as well as his arm, and he's also been able to have a catch for a touchdown. He's just doing it all, but unfortunately on that play, the Bombers read that play before it even developed. McBride pitches to the right, touchdown, Renegades. That is a touchdown indeed. Great pitch out play there to work that right side of the field. And all you can see is black turf ahead for the touchdown. Right there, the pitch out there, able to work it, trucks the defender to get in for the touchdown and the score. You see this beautiful turf on tonight. I'm told by my director, Chris, this is brand new turf that the Renegades have put into this facility, and definitely an upgrade from last year's turf. So that's what makes this team attractive, when you can have nice facilities with the Dog at Ford Park along with nice turf to play on. Each and every time you can have nice facilities and nice amenities, it's going to be more and more attractive to come and play for the Beaumont Renegades. This is beautiful turf that they have laid down inside this arena, and the players are having a great time playing on it indeed. You see that Texas flag in the middle of the stadium. Looks like for the Bombers, 21 is up, and he is running off the field. That is Donovan Thurman going off the field on his own power. So that is always good to see whenever you're not helped off the field and you can get off the field with your own power. So hopefully he will return in this game. Donovan Thurman, one of those core players on the defensive side of the ball for the Bombers. One of those anchors on defense indeed. Renegades set to kick this one off as they lead 58-42. Again, they are looking for their first win of the season. They played the Bombers in the first game of the season, and they did not come out of that game on top. But here, this is a revenge game, and they're looking to turn the table indeed. So kickoff to Tyler Kennedy. We saw what he did on the last kickoff. Great kickoff coverage there by the Renegades to be able to stop Tyler and not let him get loose. It will be 1st and 10. Right there you see Tyler trying to go on the left side there. And right as he cuts and tries to go up the middle, better kickoff coverage this time around for the Renegades. I'm sure Coach Mayfield will talk to his defense, talk to his kickoff coverage, and say, hey, wherever you see him go, you have to see him and track him down. We cannot let Tyler Kennedy be a one-man show out there and beat us. It's important, if you can't take him down individually, that you take him down as a team. Johnson, he's back in the pocket. Finds a wide open Tucker there. Oh, excuse me, that's TJ Brooks. So Johnson drops back, finds TJ Brooks on that sideline there, using the wall, catches the ball cleanly. Nice catch there by TJ Brooks, who comes into this game with 122 receiving yards. Great defensive stance there by the Beaumont Renegades. He was all over that play, read it from jump. Got a little jiggy with it there and able to bring down the Bombers player there. As you can see right there, he plugs the gap, and as that running back tries to cut back, he's right there to bring him down. Oceanside Bombers complete pass. That's TJ Brooks again, finding some light. Johnson finds him in the middle of the field, wide open. TJ Brooks starting to come alive here in this fourth quarter, being someone Johnson is definitely trying to go to and finding him to try to crack into this Renegades lead. Johnson again to TJ Brooks for the touchdown. It was all Johnson and TJ Brooks that entire drive, that entire possession. Johnson, you see him right there knowing he can trust, and TJ Brooks is reliable there. He gets the score. And again, the Bombers keep on striking left and right. Every time the Renegades scores, here come the Bombers, making the score 48-58. Brent Reese there. Let's see if he can add another point to the score. He does. Bombers 49, Renegades 58. But on that last drive, it was all TJ Brooks. Johnson and TJ connecting on 3 catches there on that last drive to continue to put the pressure on. Let the Renegades know that they're gonna come out of this with a win. They're gonna have to fight for it. You see the fan interaction there. It's good to see all ages come in and be able to watch this game. It's definitely a family environment. Anytime you can come out and bring the youngsters to this exciting football, arena football to see each and every week. It's just good for the Beaumont community indeed. And last season, these defending champs, they saw by each and every game, they started building on that momentum, and the support of the Beaumont community continued to come out and support them, and the crowd just kept getting bigger and bigger. But if you want some action and some good, friendly competition, or I shouldn't say friendly because it's friendly after the games are over, but this is definitely an environment you got to come in and check out indeed. And you see all the fans circling around the wall there. When you can have that interaction, that face-to-face right there with different players, I think that's what makes this environment and these games that exciting. It's just being able to hug the walls there, and it's like you can be right there with the players indeed. Beaumont Renegades 58, Oceanside Bombers 49. We'll be back after this break. Back here as McBride drops back. Finds a teammate, but not before he is met by the defender. This back and forth action from the opening kickoff to now has definitely been a sight to see. Definitely an enjoyable game thus far. Let's see if the Renegades can score on this possession. Right there you see Zuri Davis breaking tackles, getting loose, and yes, he does go the distance for a touchdown. Renegades continue to add to their lead. Great job there by Zuri Davis. Gives the football to a young fan. Such an explosive play as Zuri Davis breaks tackle after tackle to make sure he gets in that end zone, and he is not denied the 6 points. As we see it again, Zuri Davis breaking tackles from the Bombers and going the distance, having his teammate in front of him to help with the blocks, and yes, he goes the distance for another touchdown. That is his third touchdown of the game. McBride here rallying up his team as they go for two. He throws it back across his body for the first interception. Right there, he could not get it across his body, and that's so tough. You see Tyler Kennedy there with the interception. And what happens there whenever a quarterback drops back and you have all the momentum going to one side of the field, those are the most difficult throws to make, is when you have to cross your body for a throw. Looks like a couple Oceanside Bombers players are shaking up on that play. Not sure if they ran into each other or what. Or maybe they're just catching their breath. McBride saw an open teammate, just not able to get it to them. For now, the Renegades are set to kick this one off, but not before putting points on the board. Now we're looking at 64-49 instead of a one score difference in the game. They have increased their lead, getting themselves some separation room, some breathing room, and they're here to kick it off to Tyler Kennedy. So let's see if their kickoff coverage can do exactly what it did the possession before. Tyler Kennedy goes right up the middle, now uses the sideline, tries to cut it back, and defense all over that for the Renegades. Nice positioning there by Trey Taylor and Gandy there teaming up on that play to make sure Kennedy doesn't break loose. Johnson comes to the right side. Right there, great defensive stance. As this game continues to go on, the defense has definitely improved in this second half compared to that compared to that first half. As you can see right there, 3 defenders right there in the area of the Bombers. That's something you didn't see in that first half. So I'm not sure what that halftime speech was about, but these Renegades are a completely defensive unit than they were in that first half, indeed. As you can see right there, Johnson drops back, but no breathing room at all as the Renegades swarm on the Bombers to make sure that they don't turn that up the field. Johnson drops back again, delivers a shuffle pass there, nice short yard pass there. That's a gain of 7 yards. Bombers still trying to do what they can. Good stop there, tackle by Gandy for the Renegades. Bombers looking to capitalize on this drive. The ball spotted there at the 3-yard line. It's only first down. Johnson with the pass there. Good stop. Nowhere could Lonnie Bickham go on that play. Coach Creed puts in the linebacker there, also a fullback, thinking he can capitalize. But right there, that defensive stance, that D-line, with the linebackers coming up to help out the D-line, he was stuffed on that play. Carl Johnson calls his own number, and he is credited. He does not get in. That's a third down. Johnson goes in, thinks he got in, stretches the ball over the pylon, and the referees say, oh no, sorry. You are stopped for third down. That was Rudy Johnson there, trying to call his own number. Third down here. Gets stopped again. Can he get in? He pushes. Oh no, another stop indeed. Rudy Johnson is held up for a second time in a row. He does not get across that goal line. Right there, and as you can see, he drives his feet, trying to get in that end zone, but he is met with a plethora of Renegades saying, oh no, not this time, not on my watch. Looks like we have a player down. Renegades are still up 64-49. We will go to break and be right back. Texas, as the Renegades had an impressive defensive stance, stopping Rudy Johnson on 2 plays in a row. They hand it to Bickham. Let's see if he gets in. He was also stopped on the first carry of that goal line stance, waiting on the referee's call, and they give it to the Renegades. Renegades hold the Bombers on 4 possessions in a row, not allowing them to get in the end zone with the game on the line. That is a critical stop for the Renegades. As you can see, all the Renegades players are amped and they're fired up after that defensive stance. We have been talking all game in that first half about the defense of the Renegades needing to step up in a big way and support their offense. The offense was rolling, having everything clicking on all cylinders, but it was the defense that was kind of lacking. But here in this second half, it has been a complete different story. The Renegades show how tough and physical they are, matching the Bombers in a goal line stance. They're not allowing them to score. So huge effort there by the Renegades, and now they get the ball back. Now, they have to be careful here because even though you have that goal line stance, you're still so close to the end zone. Ball being spotted at the 3-yard line. You don't want any mishaps here because just like your defense was on 10 and your defense was physically able to stand them up, so is the Bombers' defense. And so they're coming out with this defense, like this defensive mindset, like, hey, we saw what you guys just did, but hey, our defense is just as good. So we're going to make sure we keep you guys from trying to score this possession. And if we can do anything to get this ball in our favor into the end zone, we're going to try our best. Right now, the officials taking some time to talk it over, making sure everybody is on the same page here. Right now, Brandon Tolbert, number 99, the O-lineman for the Bombers, the only one in position, ready for the play to start. Right now we have 3:16 left to go in this game. The Renegades are up 64-49. Still trying to determine what the chatter is about. So the call on the field is a fumble recovered by the Renegades. So they were able to stop him. And during that tackle, the Bombers fumbled the ball and they were able to pick it back up. And that's why you see the ball on the 3-yard line. So let's see what the Renegades can do here with 3:16 on the clock. Just an overall great game here by McBride. Morrison goes in motion, flag on the play, and that's what you don't need if you're the Oceanside Bombers. When you have a team backed up that far back and you get an offside call, you're only putting your team more in a hole and giving the Renegades more breathing room. That's a 5-yard penalty. When you had the Renegades backed in their own end zone. But because you aren't disciplined on that play, the referees kept you for offside. And now McBride has more room to work with. He pitches to the outside. Unable to shake that tackle, but still being able to pick up a couple yards and gets a first down. Only needed 5 yards. Excuse me. Only needed 2 yards really for that first down. Was able to pick that up with ease. So right now, McBride and the Renegades have all the momentum in the world as they see this clock continue to tick down in their favor. McBride goes across the middle, finds a wide open Zuri Davis, who's able to catch that ball and bring it in. Zuri Davis with the strong hands, and I should say throughout the course of this game with the sure hands, he had one defender on him, but one defender on him is no problem for Zuri Davis. Like the great wide receivers say throughout the course of their tenures, I'm always open. We have a flag on the play. McBride pitches to the right side, but let's see what the flag will be for. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here in Beaumont, Texas at the Doggett Ford Park. This has been a great game back and forth, 64-49 right now. And right now we'll take a break, and we will be right back after the break. The action here in Beaumont, Texas, as McBride sets up there in shotgun formation, drops back, delivers a pass, unable there to connect with Neal, but he gave it a nice throw and tried to see what he can get on that possession. It will be third down, as you see McBride just overthrows him. But in good position there was Kyron Beecham, for the Oceanside Bombers. Just under a minute left to go in this game. Beaumont Renegades has a nice lead, but anything is possible when you're talking about arena football. With 57 seconds left to go, it's third down right now, and if the Bombers are able to get a stop here and go down and score quickly, there's no telling what the outcome of this game could be. But right now, the Renegades need to convert on this third down. They need to go 6 yards to get a first down. So you need 6 yards. Anything can work in this situation, whether it's a play action pass or even connecting with Zuri Davis one-on-one on the outside, or you have Jeremy Neal. You have so many weapons that you can use in this situation. You might even use Morrison as a decoy to try to get one of your other wide receivers open. But right now it's important for you to pick up the first down so you can continue putting pressure on the Bombers. And just overthrows Zuri Davis. It is fourth down, and they are going for it. As you can see, Neal comes back in the game. Right there, Morrison just not in the direction of Davis at all. Not sure who he was throwing to on that play, but he had Davis open. But that ball kind of sailed on him, and he wasn't able to connect with Davis. 4th down here, 6 yards to go. McBride under pressure. Incomplete pass. And it is the Bombers football. Right now, the Bombers have an opportunity with 46 seconds. You can tell the crowd is getting a little quiet and antsy right now because anything is possible right now. This is a close game. They are looking for their first win of the season. They are looking to bounce back over the Bombers who defeated them in that first game of the season. Timeout called. Charge to the Renegades. But if there's anything positive out of this, you have to like how the defense responded when in terms of the Renegades, how they responded on that last possession, stopping the Bombers on the goal line in 3 straight snaps and then getting that fumble on the 4th snap. So they do have momentum. They do have an edge right now, because if they were able to do that on the goal line stance here at the 20-yard line, they are very well capable of doing the same thing right here in this moment. Rudy Johnson drops back under center. Catch made there by Jalen Tucker for the touchdown. Just within 3 seconds there. Rudy Johnson connects with Jalen Tucker. Johnson to Jalen. And 6 points on the board for the Bombers. Right now the Bombers are going for 2 points with just 40 seconds on the clock. Johnson drops back, gets pressure, and overthrows his teammate there, not being able to pick up the 2 points. That was Tyler Kennedy going high for that ball, but unable to get it. 2-point conversion, no good. And it'll be Renegades football. As you can see, Johnson scrambling. Kennedy gets loose, but he just overthrows him. That would have been a prime opportunity to put 2 more points on the board. But when you're rolling and scrambling like that, you can't get your feet underneath you and control your body. Throws like that happen. 40 seconds on the clock. Bombers are set to kick this one off. Just a great evening here of arena football here at Doggett Ford Park in Beaumont, Texas. Great family atmosphere, great football from the jump of this game. It's been a tight one, back and forth. The way the Renegades have played, you cannot tell that they are 0-2 on the season. They've played great, clean football. Renegades trying to break loose there. That was Morrison with the return. A little shoving as tensions flare right now, as this game means a lot. to both sides. The Bombers aren't looking for their first loss of the season, and you have the Renegades looking for their first win of the season. So a lot of emotions are on the line, but it's critical to keep your focus, keep your head in this game. It's 49-64. Anything can happen. Right there you see Morrison kind of lose his footing. He was trying to cut back in the other direction, but just loses his footing there, and then tempers start flaring on both sides of the ball. Renegades. Andrew McBride with his impressive performance on this evening. Filling in for Carl Robinson. Timeout called. The Bombers calling their second timeout of the half, as you can see there. Just trying to kill this clock by running the ball a little bit, making sure the other team gets rid of their timeouts. But you have to pick up a first down to put this game out of reach and to secure this victory. You definitely want to try to pick up a first down in this situation. You can't rely on timeouts and running the ball up the middle to kill the clock. You have to try to get a first down. It's 2nd and 13 right now. Andrew McBride in shotgun formation. That's Morrison in motion. Vincent Wilkerson picks up the catch, picks up a couple yards, but now we have another timeout by the Bombers. As you can see right there, McBride with a quick throw to Wilkerson on the outside there. Not able to pick up many yards there, but more importantly, get some ticks off the clock as we're at 19 seconds. We're at a 3rd and 10. That is the Bombers' final timeout, so no timeouts remaining for them. So if the Renegades choose to run this ball, the clock will go out indeed. So let's see what they do here. McBride under center. Probably will take a knee to end this game. He runs it. Flag on the play. Let's see. False start called on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down here. 18 seconds left to go on the clock. Runs up the middle. And with that run, that kills the clock. And the Beaumont Renegades pick up their first win of the season over the Oceanside Bombers, 64-55 here in Beaumont, Texas. Great job, great victory. The Bombers suffer their first loss of the season, while the Renegades pick up their first win of the season. Great job by Andrew McBride, the quarterback, stepping in for Carl Robinson and having a solid game all throughout this game from start to finish. He was able to find players like Vincent Wilkerson, Zuri Davis, Carl Robinson, Jeremy Neal, as well as Morrison. Was able to have a plethora of guys and a collective group of guys step up and just be able to catch the ball and be dependable receivers throughout this game. But just a great job all around for the Renegades. This was a huge win, very critical in their season as they kind of face the meat of their schedule coming up. You know, it's important to get a win like this under their belt. They were at the bottom of the standings in the league, and Oceanside Bombers were in the middle of the standings. So it's important as they move up in these standings and they face this tough schedule ahead that they have a game like this that they can rely on and ride the momentum of this game. Great job all around. Hats off to Coach Mayfield and the team for the job they were able to do on tonight. For reporting from Doggett Ford Arena, I'm Siobhan Herndon. Another victory, or first victory for the Beaumont Renegades, and thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed the game, and we'll see you on the next broadcast.